doesn't put me first at all. She chooses her sisters over me all the time. Fourth, I do not make her feel second. I have put my wife first, especially in emergencies, and I have tried my best to comfort her. I have gone home and now I'm thinking I don't need to apologize to y'all. I really don't know. Thanks to everyone who commented. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, there's one from a user called Miss Black to Life. It says, jacked up question, but from lived experience, my mother was dying and my bestie was having a baby, her last, that had been full of complications, and she wanted me there like I was with her first. I asked simply, can you plan to give birth at the same hospital my mother was at? I went from floor 4, the cancer ward, to floor 2, the birthing floor, the entire day. The doctors knew what was up and what I was doing, so it allowed me to be there for both of them. Talk to her and find a compromise and make a plan. She's pregnant, which tends to make one a tad more panicky and emotional. Another user down below called Crabbiest Asp said, not the butthole. I get both sides of this. Honestly though, if I told my mom I'd choose her over the birth of my child, if I was a dude, she would tell me to stop being a dick and go to the birth of my child. Let's be honest here, OP, the chances of both of those things happening at the exact same time are extremely slim, but this was a very loaded question from your spouse. I feel like answering the way you did make her angry, but if you said that you were going to be there with her and ignore your mother, then she would still be angry because you're ignoring your mother. Alright, we have 3 updates from OP, let's get into the first one now. Alright, this first update is titled, Update, Am I the Butthole for Telling My Wife I would choose my mom over the birth of our baby? Hello again, people of Reddit. Some of you asked for an update, so here it is. I went back home yesterday afternoon. She wasn't there. I assumed she was at her mom's house. She came back in the evening, and we had a talk about what happened. She did apologize for asking the question, and that when she thought about it, she understood my answer, because she would do the same. I asked her why she asked. She said she didn't know and thought I was going to pick her, since I normally do. I kinda just said okay and moved on. I did tell her I want marriage counseling after or even before the baby's born. She asked why. I told her how I felt, and she denied it, so I had to give her proof. Then she started crying and got mad and told me to sleep in the guest room instead of kicking me out. So I guess I got a win there. Anyways, she also told me that she no longer wanted me in the delivery, which I was fine with. I understand to an extent where it's coming from. I will go into therapy, which was suggested, and I think I do need it. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for the advice. Y'all gave some good and bad advice, and sorry if my comments came off as mean. I'm not really a friendly person till you know me, especially if you're accusing me of something. OP added a quick edit on this one. It says, y'all, the proof I showed her was messages of when she said she felt unimportant, and when I felt unimportant. I would never, and I mean never, show her anything on here. She would have a mental breakdown. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, there's one from a user called Alaloredzen. It says, so it started fine. She was sorry for creating a conflict over a hypothetical, unlikely scenario, and said she understood your viewpoint because she, too, would choose to be with her dying mother. And then it all went to crap. How? I worry about you two, but she is pregnant and bursting with hormones. You should give each other a bit of space until the child is born. You stay calm and reasonable and caring, and then you can see about counseling if it seems necessary when she is back to normal. Another commenter down below called Quizzy1313 says, all this update shows is there's something missing here. I'd love to hear this from the wife's perspective. There's a lot of missing reasons. I think there's a lot more going on here that we're really not being told, as the commenters are suggesting. How did this go so far? She was apologizing and saying she understood and would do the same thing. All OP needed to do at that point was say, thank you, I love you, and kinda let it go. Maybe we'll get some more context from the next update. Let's jump into that now. Alright, this update's titled, Update 2, Am I the Butthole for Telling My Wife that I would choose my mom over the birth of our baby? Hello people, this will probably be my last and final update. I read a lot of your comments, And I did apologize not for bringing up marriage counseling, but for the timing I brought it up, and that I did show her proof. She did forgive me and told me I was still not going to be at the birth of our child. I said to her that it was okay and that I had accepted it, and I wasn't going to fight her on her choice. I did tell her that I think she and I both need some space before the baby comes, to which she agreed. I told her I would leave and that she could have the house, and that if she needed anything, to call or text me. No, I'm not at my mother's house. I'm at a friend's house. He doesn't live there anymore, but he usually rents it out. To all of you asking why don't you kick her out, it's because I'm the only person who makes money in the house, and I know especially now, if I kick her out, it will be called financial, emotionally manipulation, or even abuse. So it's better a lot of times if I leave. Yes, I do plan to go back home when the baby is born, and to someone who asked, I do plan to take paternity leave. No, she does not know where I'm at. She didn't ask, so I didn't tell. Mainly because her family would be banging on my door. To people who I know are going to ask, why aren't you fighting harder to be in the delivery room? I've learned that some things I cannot control, and one thing is people. If she doesn't want me in there, I won't be. My main example is if I had gotten someone pregnant in my 20s and I said get an abortion just because it's my baby as well, doesn't mean that I can control what she does. So it's her body, her choice. Lastly, to people who are saying they need more details, I'm not used to just randomly talking about myself. It's been that way since I was a child. I've gotten better since I was a kid, but it's still a struggle. So if you have a question, give me a specific question, because I answer what you ask, not the above. And about the divorce thing, I do care if she divorces me. I do love her, but I cannot control how she feels. So personally, I won't beg her not to. I will suggest that we get help, but if she doesn't want to, then that's fine. I'm secure. What I mean by that is she will get nothing in the divorce. Does she know that? I don't know. I will try my best to answer the questions in the comments. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, there's one from a user called Outlier of the House. It says, it seemed like OP has mentally checked out. When you talk about being kicked out, about not being wanted in the delivery room, or about the potential divorce, what you focus on was how you'd accepted it, on how you'd be secure. There's nothing about how this could badly damage the relationship, or the child could grow up in a broken family, etc. Crazy how a hypothetical question manifested into such chaos. Best of luck to you guys, whatever course of action you may take. Okay, now I'm getting conflicted on this one because she seems to be pushing him away, but he's not doing anything to try and salvage what they have left. And the last line about OP saying that she won't get anything, that's a great way to support the person that's having your kid. So many people in the comments are saying that it's time for counseling, but from my outside point of view without any more information, besides what OP has given us so far, yeah, this relationship, it ain't gonna work. Alright, let's check out OP's last update. Alright, this one is titled, Final Update, Am I the Butthole for telling my wife that I would choose my mom over the birth of our baby? Hello people, I have good and bad news. So I will start with the good news. My wife had the baby on January 26th. It's a girl and I love her so much. I wanted to name her after my mother, but we found a compromise and her middle name is my mother's name. To the questions I'm going to get about was I in the delivery room, I was not. I did ask, but I got a no, and she said she had already told her sister, and that she couldn't. Hurt my feelings, which was okay. By then, I had stopped caring a lot. The bad news is my mother died. She died a week before my baby was born. A decent bit of her friends came to the funeral, and if you go back up a sentence, I said I had stopped caring a lot. She didn't come to the funeral. She made stupid excuses, and I just said, forget it. It was nice, though I am mad that she wasn't there when I needed her. So I haven't been talking to her much, so I won't yell at her. We talk about baby and her, and other than that, we don't talk. I'll bring up marriage counseling in a few weeks, but for now, I'm going to enjoy my baby and love her. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, there's one from a user called Jovan35. It says, I'm really sorry for your loss. I truly hope that you guys are able to talk through a lot of these issues in a therapeutic setting. I also gently suggest that you consider doing individual counseling for yourself. You need and deserve